Hey guys, what's cracking? Godspan here, and another day, another premium reveal. Two, in fact. So, without further ado, let's get started. So today we got some OTT reveals. Good old Stride and G-Guardian combo, just as the doctor ordered. Now, starting off with the Stride, we've got Fortune-bringing Nanda Dragon King. Yeah, even OTT are getting more dragons, even though this looks like it could have been Amaterasu or something to that effect. But no, more dragons, right? Hell, the parrot for great nature was considered a dragon too, so that's the theme, right? So, what does this do? Well, it's got one skill, but it's a doozy. So act on Van once per turn. You flip up a card in the G zone, that's it for the cost, and then you reveal cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards face up in your G zone plus 2. You call all the normal units to rear circle, and you add all the trigger units revealed to the hand, then activate their trigger effects. Now, you shuffle the deck afterwards. Wow, so much plussing, like holy crap, right? So something that immediately occurred to me is that of all the versions of OTT to be able to use this, I really think of it as a great setup for something like Battle Sister, right? Because Battle Sister really loves a full field. They got a lot of different sisters that work well with each other and like to have multiple sisters on the field present. So splashing them in a field flood a la Chrono's Command style is perfect for that deck. Not to mention, of course, you're getting a bunch of trigger effects potentially, so it's like V Susano's main phase drive checks, if you will. And in combination, I mean, of course, this is a lot of card advantage, right? And OTT is known for the card advantage, but I think the real value of this card lies in the fact that one of the problems with OTT is that they're somewhat field sensitive, right? They don't necessarily need a strong field to operate, but if you get rid of their cards, they're going to be inclined to replace their field because their offense is generally pretty low. So they want to flip the field just so that they physically have a lot of attackers, right? Even if you got things like Momo or whatnot, you want to give buffs to your front row. So it's like, okay, then get like Rearguard Amaterasu or whatever the frick. This is all just to say that if you field wipe them, they want it back. And this is how you get it back. You just reveal a bunch of cards in the top of the deck, and then boom, there's your field back again. So this is a very nice anti-field wipe. And I mean, the late game scaling is out of control. The more cards you got face up in the G zone, the more this can like look at. And after a while, it feels like Fortuna. That's how nutty it is. So yeah, pretty impeccable. I will admit that if you reveal a lot of, say, normal units, then this starts to get a little redundant. And if they aren't messing with your field, you're probably not going to do this again, in all honesty. So this is more like of a 1, maybe 2 of, but I can see it being a 1 to 2 of, and you just use it for setup, either as a setup or as a bounce back to a field wipe. It depends on your matchup. So something that's not necessarily as impressive is their G-Guard. So their G-Guard, Octagonal Magus, what does it do? So simply put, Octagonal Magus has one skill only, which is that you CB1 when it's put on the Guardian Circle. Again, very much a theme here with these G-Guards. And then you declare 2 grades between 0 and 3. Now, afterwards you reveal the top card of your deck, and if the reveal card is one of those 2 declared grades, right? So remember, you got 4 of them to choose from. You add the card to your hand, and then it gets plus 15k shield. I'll be honest with you, Chief, if you haven't stacked the deck, this probably isn't worth it. If you stack the deck, it's great, it's all fine and dandy, right? And I think, true to its name, this is really good as a Magus card in particular, because Magus can stack the deck like a mother effer, but outside of deck, I don't know. I mean, it's okay, but it's very specific. I think this might be the weakest G-Guard that we've received thus far, which is fine, because, man, that, excuse me, that Stride more than makes up for it. So, yeah, I think enough said about that, OTT. Really looking forward to the Stride, and who knows, maybe Magus or something else can abuse that G-Guard. So then, let's move on to some doozy of reveals. Let's go to Aquaforce. And we're back. So, here comes Aquaforce, and wish you could have brought the budget with this one, not gonna lie. So, starting off the Stride, we've got, ooh, yay, it's another English one, because our good friend, our good pal, Commander Jaime, got like a glorious opportunity to be able to show these off. So proud of him. Man's come a long way. Rooting for him to the end of days. So anyway, enough fanboy, right? So we've got Blue Furious Charge Dragon, Furiargus Dragon. I think it's like Furiargus, although that sounds like Firaga for all of your Final Fantasy friends. Well, however you pronounce it, this thing's a beast. So one skill only needed one skill. So at the end of the battle that it attacked, Forces of Van, you CB1 and then flip over a card in the G zone, and then you first off get a gift. Yes, you get an Excel marker. You choose the same number of rear guards as the cards face up in your G zone. Stand them up, and then you can choose up to one of your rears, move it to an additional rear circle, and it gets 10k until end of turn. Oh, I think I'm gonna have an aneurysm. This is so good. This is incredible. This is like so good for an aggressive deck like Aquaforce. I mean, let's just lay it out here factually, right? Aquaforce is already an Excel clan, and an Excel clan that excels in having rearguard restands and multi-attack and whatnot. So what you're telling me is that this thing can then just sort of reset that and give you a full wave attacks again? Yeah, it can do that. Not to mention, it gives you an extra Excel marker, which then generates an extra attack on top of that, because then you're moving something to that extra Excel marker from, let's say, the back row or whatever, and it gets 10k. It does so much. Arguably, it does too much. And let's just quickly go over all the things that you can do with Charge Dragon here. For one thing, if you talk about cards to move to the additional rear circle, it can behoove you to think about cards such as Corvettes and also Propulsion Dragon, because these are blue wave cards, right? Although Propulsion's a bit more generic, right? But these are fantastic, right? Like if you boost a Corvette and then you stand that Corvette, you can then move it to be an attacker, so you get another chance that's on hit, and it's got plus 5k. And with this dude, it's got an extra 10k. So this thing's hitting for like what, 28 or something like that on Excel 2. It's pretty big, can hit over defensives by a mile. So yeah, that's pretty good. If you do Propulsion, then this is also pretty good shenanigans, because Propulsion already has a skill to move itself to the back row by swapping and then restanding itself, so you don't even need to waste a restand on it potentially, and you can just have it go back in for the attack on the new Excel marker, and then potentially use its effect again, although that means you're using 3 CP in a single turn, so I'm not sure you can exactly have that cost ready at all times, but still, it is an option. This Propulsion in particular is such a good combo with this, but yeah, the Corvette on hit, can't underestimate that. Other things to note is, yeah, so when you're playing a card like this, suddenly things like Flagberg and V Valios are more of an option, because now you're getting Excel markers anyway, albeit it's a little bit delayed, but still, you're getting Excel markers. Like, woo, fan-freaking-tastic. It's kind of exciting, like the DI reveal, you know? DI is helping out those Dark Irregular units by getting a chance to shine before you go under stride. This one, you get to have an Excel marker even if you didn't get one from other stuff. I mean, heck, you can even play things like Old Valios if you want to now for that on-stride skill. I don't necessarily recommend it, but I mean, hey, you know what? It is an option, right? So there's a lot of crazy things you can do with this stride. Is it the best stride that we've gotten so far? Just as a disclaimer, when this set is, you know, behind us and we've all got our new toys to try out with, I'm going to be making a top 10 list on the top 10 cards we got from this set, and yeah, expect this card to be on it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on it. It's really, 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 really good. What's a little bit more debatable is the G-Guard. I already said that for the other one, but yeah, so we've got Dianera. So what does she do? Amazing artwork, by the way. I love this artwork. So Dianera has one skill, which, say it with me, kids, when this unit's put on Guardian Circle, counter blast 1. Yes, that again. And perform the following depending on which battle of the turn it is. Choose one of your units if it's the first battle, and it gets 5k into end of turn. Yes, end of turn. Fourth battle or more, it gets plus 20k shield. So yeah, immediately I'm just going to say straight out, this probably replaces Ice Barrier Dragon, because fourth battle or more to get 20k shield is really nice. Sure, Ice Barrier didn't have a cost with it, but I mean, in Blue Wave and stuff like that, you can definitely spare the CB, and there's countercharge options in Aquaforce as a whole for the most part, so yeah, that's not bad to negotiate. So yeah, this is a really good defender. But of course, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the first battle skill. When you're doing that plus 5k, you're putting yourself at crucial numbers, right? Because now you're at a 17, which is like what a Ragey could be, it's what a Dungaree could be. So it's good defensive. So ironically enough, this is very anti-excel. So if you're getting poked a lot, this thing is really good. And because it's at the first battle of the turn, like, it's maximum benefit for it. It's really good card design, because if you wanted this mini defensive at any time at all, it would be as soon as possible, hence the first battle criteria. So yeah, it's really good. It's not going to pop up all the time. I think in particular in like premium and whatnot, there's a lot of like heavy numbers, so it may or may not matter. But then again, if you're also running lower shields, like 5k grade 1s and whatnot, this can be pretty useful, right? Not to mention that Aquaforce has a tendency to intercept a lot for 5k because, yeah, you know, you're going so aggressive, you kind of need those intercepts sometimes to stay in the game. So yeah, really good card design. I will say, though, that yeah, the CB and the fact that it's 4th battle more means there is a hole between the 2nd and 3rd battle. But then again, you fill that hole with, I don't know, PGs. I guess you can go for a Golphilia, you know, probably one of the best G guards in the game. But still, this thing's pretty freaking good, to be honest. It is situational, but I guess at the end of the day, if you got a CB, you can just go for the 20k shield, right? 35 is nothing to scoff at. It's above Crit Sentinel, which seems to also be kind of a trait with a fair bit of these G guards. Alright, well, that's going to wrap it up for today. And I guess concluding thoughts, OTT, got a really nice stride. Aquaforce kind of got the nuts. These are probably going to be staples in almost every Aquaforce variant. Eating really, really well, which I'm really happy to hear. I was really excited for Aquaforce. And now we wait for Royal Paladin, and actually we know that Gold Paladin got a waifu stride, so very exciting. And with that, thank you. God bless.